Hi, this is Steve and welcome to my blog. I haven't done one of these for a long while. Got one thing and another, one setback and another. Couldn't really be bothered, but this is not financial advice. It's entertainment purposes only, and it's purely for me, really. It's not really to recruit anyone. It's just to tell everybody where it's at, where it is at the moment. What's happening? The main thing I'm into at the moment is Etoro. Lost a lot of money in this because basically I'm not up there with the big boys. I'm not running with the big teams. Dabbled in forex, but I'm not up to their standards. And a lot of these guys, they mixed reception really. It's very. I mean, this is very slow paying, and most of the money I've got in this, I won't see any maturity on it until certainly the autumn, and then it's a very modest amount of money. If I've got time, I'll come back to this later on because it is the best thing on the net I've come across really for making slow, steady money. What else is going? I'm very pleased to say that my pay and ads is up and running again. I got all my seed money back long ago for this, and he started up again, and it's paying me ROI, return on investment, in 24 hours is about 2%, just under 2%. I make about $5 a day, and there's a couple of $100 in this, but this is paying just as well as it was. Certainly before Christmas, before he went down in the spring, and it's back on track, as powerful as ever. I mean, I do well in this because I've got 7 referrals here, mostly my friend Annie, who's got a whole stable of referrals. Most of them are free, and we've got to try and get them to get money back in their accounts again, but very good. Another thing we're waiting on is Venture Plug. I've got a bit of money in this, and he's waiting for his PayPal money to come back, as was Uday in MPA. Got all his PayPal money back, was in dispute with PayPal, and got it back after discussions and negotiations, got it all back. This guy is back on track with the same thing. However, the big news at the moment is traffic monsoon, and Mr. Charles Schofield, to be frankly honest, I think we've got to kiss this one goodbye. I'll lose about $2,000 in this, but hell, you know, if it's in forex and you're in a losing position, they say just bite the bullet, take your loss, and don't grind a small loss into a massive one. Oh, excuse me. And I think that's the case. I think that's what will happen here if we grind on with it. Mind you, we've got to wait until the end of September before he's up before the SEC, who's just taken all his PayPal money, because he did get his money back from PayPal, and they sequestrated all his money again. Because the thing is, the difference between these two guys, Uday and this guy, and Mr. Charles Schofield, is not the first time he's done it. I think it was Easy Hits for You he did, and he was up in court. I mean, he beat that rap and came back, but people didn't get the money back. And he's not a scammer, and I try to stay positive with it, but to be really ruthlessly honest, it's not looking good. We're trying to keep positive, but that's the way it is. Other things we're in. I'm in Zukal. A bit cautious of it at the moment because I think they're just too ambitious in their plans and what they want to do. But this is the new thing they're coming up with. They do have a rev share prog going. Got some modest amount of money in that, and it does pay. It pays quite reasonably. But the main thing, the Zukal thing, where you a bit like a rotator, but it's a bit slow because I think they were so ambitious in what they wanted to do, and it took a long while to go. I was in this for a couple of months, I think 2 or 3 months. I think least $200 in this, and I dropped out because I didn't get my money back. But they've got a new thing going, which they're launching at the end of this month, I think, where they basically pay you to do the Facebook postings. Theoretically, that's what they fondly think is going to happen. In theory, it would, but you know, Facebook posting, you've got to keep it under these. Once you're into these latter ones, they're all media. They call it social media posting generally, but let's face it, they pale beside Facebook. Facebook is the main one, and that's the one that's going to pay you. The idea is that you retrieve the links from the groups that you post to, get that back, and then they pay you. But they haven't actually implemented it yet, so we'll see how we get on with that. Would I recommend Zukal? I certainly would. They have a lot of good interaction of social media. They're always got hangouts. They've always got a Skype group. They do regular hangouts on YouTube that you can interact with, and a lot of those guys, Coach Darren, Jamie Myers, a lot of people I follow, and they're very positive, and I think they're very trusting. What's the difference between these and Traffic Monsoon? Well, the Traffic Monsoon is in dispute because the SEC say that anything that you put your money in, where there's an expectation of a result of a profit from that money that's ploughed in, is an investment. Therefore, if they haven't got enough money backed up to support that claim of investment, it's a Ponzi. And if it's a Ponzi, then bango, you go down. Now the other guys had that same investigation, but they proved that they had the money to back it up. That if there was an expectation, they proved that they could give the money. And certainly, I know in the case of Zukal, if you don't like it, you can get your money back. All the money you put in it, you can get it back. So therefore, it's not a Ponzi. So no problemo. But that same can't be said of Mr. Charles Schofield, who's had the money but didn't give it back to the people. And that's why they jumped on him. Would I any of these? I'm not too sure if I convince anyone really to put money into a rev share. They do pay, and it is very easy. You don't need any skills. You don't need to do a lot of work, and it is easy money. There's no doubt about that. But I'm not sure if I'd recommend it. If you want to make easy money, it's an excellent way of going about it. But the hard work money is with these guys here. Let's just go back to this, see if I can get this going. I haven't had a lot of luck. It's the third attempt at this video. I haven't had a lot of luck with it. But one thing that they've done here, if you can see, where's the current month? Oh, that's not very good, is it? See, he's not at the start of the month. This guy hasn't done very well. But if you'd have followed him from the start, if you'd have followed him from, say, the last 3 months through quarter, see, there's periods when he did exceptionally well. So it's a very long-term investment. The idea is that if you follow the big guys, of course I can't get the page up there. If you follow the big guys, and here they all are, you can see how much they've made in over the last week and the last few days. This guy here is one of the top guys. I've been following him. I haven't made any money out of him yet. But long term, it'll make a better return on investment than a lot of rev shares, and it's a lot safer. It's backed up by Barclays Bank, so there's no question of any Ponzi's or anything like that. You will get your money, but you know, it's all a gamble. It's all a gamble, but you've got to try. You've got to have a go. You've got to try. You've got to have the guts to try and have a go and just do it. You know, I mean, I still work part time at Morrison's, And you know, a lot of these things, they don't pay you much more than what's the minimum living wage, the minimal wage. It's not much more than that. And to be frankly honest, unless you've got about $3,000 or $4,000, you can't really expect any more than that. It won't. There's just no way they'll pay you any more than that. I mean, if you're interested, get in touch. You know, I'm going to post some links up. Let me know what you think. At message ends. I'll see you in the future.